So, this one's gonna be about a bunch of Reddit questions, and that's quite it, I guess, to change up some things without me actually talking about anything beforehand. But more after the intro. As always. As every single day. And with that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And I'm pumped for this episode, even though I've been just recording the other episode, and I kind of feel like just getting exhausted after recording episodes, and I don't know why. Like, there's something going on with my voice that is not making things easier and making everything a little bit more difficult for me, but I don't know why. I actually don't know why. It might be because I'm shouting around like a dumbass. Could be the case, but I really don't know. But let's actually go through some questions. All the necessary links should be down in the description. Check them out if you are on a podcast, but also if you are on a YouTube video. And you should find everything. If there's something that you are in need of, then please hit me up on any social media thing. I'm gonna reply as quickly as I can. It's probably gonna be, unless it's during the week, then it's gonna be in just an hour, maybe 2 hours, just something like that. You can expect something like that. But I do have to see if everything is fine. No, nothing is fine. So now everything is fine. I'm gonna make this smaller again. So I have an addiction to astrology. I'm, by the way, on my main site or on my home screen, basically on Reddit. So I have an I have an addiction to astrology and imbuing meaning to coincidental meanings. How do I think more calmly and become more proactive? Something that really reminded me of this is actually being addicted to something and or just being passionate about something. Because, there are so many people, there are so many people that are just passionate about horses. They are passionate about horse riding. They are passionate about astrology. They are passionate about producing content. Like, it could also be a thing. And not a lot of people are just producing content on this particular thing that they are passionate about. Of course, you can also be making content on content. Basically, it's actually really meta, but as I'm thinking about it, it might be actually pretty cool. I might be trying that as no, not really, I think. But so many people do nothing about that. We are having just a lot of chances with the internet, with YouTube, with podcasts, with all the other social media sites that we are available to use, but not a lot of people just take advantage of that. Not a lot of people are just using that, which is something that I can understand. Because, of course, you're gonna do something. Because, of course, you're gonna do something that people might be talking about if they find out about it. And many other different reasons why people don't do stuff. Most often it is related to what other people might be thinking about them and what other people might have to say and all those things. But please do something about it. You're able to just actually have a podcast about astrology and imbuing meaning to coincidental meanings or meetings, and which is gonna make you a bunch of fucking money, and you're gonna just be able to live off of. It's not really about money. It's about just doing something your whole fucking life long that you're really passionate about. And if astrology and imbuing meaning to coincidental meanings is actually something that makes you happy, and please fucking do that. It's actually a really great chance that we all are having, a really great chance to do something and actually really do something that we like to do. And even if you were able to build something and gain a community and you kind of decide to just make something else, then it's really not that difficult to then just do something else. Because there are still going to be people that are interested in you as a person, not necessarily on what you're talking about, but then just it's about you. Yeah, think about it. Think about them. Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes them meaningful. I know, it's very philosophical, I guess. The first comment, I recently read that life will always have challenges. Your goal should be learning how to deal with them rather than avoiding them. That really helped me reframe my thinking about problems. So your goal should be learning how to deal with them rather than avoiding them. I would also say so, that actually trying to challenge yourself is actually also a pretty good way to make life a little bit more interesting. Which might really sound like, my life isn't interesting and I need challenges and I need to just kind of kill myself by putting out enormous amounts of content each day. I do. I have to. Sometimes I kind of feel like I really am doing that. Not always smart, not always good for me, but I like doing it, Therefore, I'm just also doing it. On the other hand, I don't know, like if everything would be easy, and if everything would just be nice and cozy and amazing, then I don't know. It's not going to be interesting. It's not going to be just, I think like life being hard and a lot of people complaining about life being hard is definitely not a bad thing. It kind of shows for me that life is interesting to a lot of people, and it makes life interesting to a lot of people because it is not fucking easy. If everything would be easy, we would actually be doing nothing, basically. I think I don't know, good question. Maybe you're answering this in the comments, maybe just hitting me up on social media. What do you think? Do you think that more people would commit suicide if life would be only easy without any challenges whatsoever? Because I kind of feel like maybe. It could be the case, if there's nothing that challenges you, if there's nothing that really is interesting to you, and if there's nothing really that you kind of feel like, well, I want to get over it. I want to do that. I want to achieve that. I want to make that just because nobody else is making it, which is one of the reasons why I'm just making the podcast, because not a lot of people are doing that, just at least in my kind of community, I would say. Then I don't know, would there be more people and or less people that are committing suicide and or that are actually having mental problems? I really have a funny feeling that more people would have just issues, issues, whether it be mental or physical or whatever. I guess, I really guess, but I'm not quite sure. So please give me your opinion. Would actually be, I'd appreciate that. This is your Sunday reminder. You can handle anything this week will throw at you. No, I do not want to give anything to you. By the way, upvoting everything, really important. I don't want to see people that are actually also replying. By the way, if you're having time to reply to one of these comments, please go onto the Reddit. You're always seeing it. It's or the subreddit. Yeah, please do that. Like if you're having the time and you kind of feel like being a nice person and just building your legacy, which is also one of the reasons why I'm willing to start just commenting more on Reddit and just being a bigger part of Reddit, then please do that. Then please do so. Hey there, stay strong no matter what comes your way. Be focused and keep going, stay motivated and stay awesome. Have an amazing week ahead. You've got this. The week is actually amazing. Even though the week is probably going to be exhaustive for you, it's probably not going to be easy for you. Do it. Just do it. Life is amazing. Life is amazing unless you're just really only focusing on the really fucked up and shitty parts. Then of course it's not going to be amazing, which is something that unfortunately just a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are only caring about those things that do not really matter, that are negative, that kind of only fuck them and kind of just, I don't know, of course there are many things that piss me off. Of course there are many things that I could be just pissed about. Of course there are many things that I could be focusing on that are really not cool. Like burning down trees in other fucking countries would be one of the things. I could be thinking about it constantly. Or women getting raped. Those things. I could be thinking about them. But I'm rarely thinking about them. Unless I want to think about that. Then I'm gonna think. You know what I mean. By the way, not funny. If you know what I'm referring to. It's not funny. I'm sorry for loving. If you kind of feel like that I've been loving just because of that, I'm not been loving about myself, basically. Today is Danny DeVito's 75th birthday. How should Reddit celebrate and what will our gift be to him? I don't know. I know Danny DeVito's name. I don't know him. I don't know what he's doing and so on and so on and so on. Looking for something sci-fi where female characters are written like real people. This is from the Suggest Me a Book subreddit, and I'm gonna just give you a few. Maybe because you're also interested in that. I don't know, might be the case, and it's pretty good. Since I'm also been going through, or I have also been going through such a lot of books and such a lot of book summaries, and more book summaries than books actually. And books are amazing, I've actually been recording another episode today, like just before, and I've been going through another book summary. And I kind of feel like that it is a pretty cool thing. It really is a cool thing because there's so much knowledge in books. So much knowledge that you wouldn't be able to find on the web, just like this. It's not that fast, I would say, at least at my point of view. Lilith's Brood, the complete exogenous trilogy by Octavia Butler. So Octavia Butler is some of the best sci-fi I've ever read. The protagonist here is a woman, but Butler definitely writes women as real people in all of her books. I regret that I only have one up dude to give. Octavia Butler is amazing sci-fi. I would also have to add Ursula K. Le Guin, which is Leguin, to the list. The next question. A brief guide to procrastination. I'm 16 years old and I've always struggled with procrastination. And the other day I watched a TED talk from Tim Urban about his experience with chronic procrastination. Is it actually kind of a disease, like chronic procrastination? Actually, probably, but I don't know. It's probably going to be something that a lot of people are struggling with. I was inspired to make a video essay about it. The video is only 3 minutes long, so don't use it as an excuse to procrastinate on other things. So check it out. And there's also the link to the video. Dope video. I don't think procrastination is the devil it made out to be. To never do something you are supposed to isn't procrastination. It's abdication, and abdication means the monarchy is resignation, retirement, relinquishment, renunciation, an act of blah 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 blah. Well, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure. So procrastination, maybe to just also just give my words to you about procrastination. I don't know. Like it's definitely something that a lot of people are having to deal with. I'm also having to deal with it. But I actually have to say, like, if there's something that you really do not want to do and you're procrastinating about it, then I really can understand it. Especially if it is about something that really doesn't make any sense for your life. School, for example, might be one of the things that really does not matter to your life. It might be mattering just a really lot to the life of your parents, and or to your parents. But if you know and if you feel like that you don't need school to just be happy, be successful, be whatever you want to be, then I kind of have to say that either you're just tremendously wrong and you're going to fuck up everything in the long run, and or you're just going to be right and you're going to just be able to do what you're willing to do no matter fucking what. It's difficult to say. It's actually difficult to say. It involves a lot of self-awareness. It involves the ability to understand yourself so that you can actually say, okay, I need school or I need public education and I need the education that I'm getting from school or in school to just do what I'm willing to do. Just, I don't know, if you're willing to be a doctor, then there's, I think, no way around that, unless you're kind of doing it on the black market. But I don't know if this is going to be something that you're just happy about. I wouldn't say so. I don't feel so. But, in some situations, there's just no way around that. You can't just do anything about it. But in other areas like entrepreneurship, like being a designer, like anything else that's having something to do with art, actually, you don't have to have education. Of course, for some people, it might be something necessary, since a lot of people are not like, okay, I'm going to Google a lot and I'm going to just try to get as much knowledge on my own, but they just do want to have the textbooks. They just do want to have the courses and whatnot. Yeah, like there's so many different ways to get knowledge at this day and age that school isn't necessarily the best way for you, probably as well. Sirius, what is your most terrifying "we need to leave now" random rush of fear you have felt? Sirius replies only. I'm not gonna go through that. Snoozing the alarm can harm you. Unfortunately, for avid fans of the snooze button, science is not on their side. Your body already gets ready for the waking process before your first alarm. But when you snooze the alarm and sleep off after already waking once, sleep experts say your brain and body are more likely to experience a discomfort called sleep inertia. Sleep inertia can stay with you throughout the day, making you feel like more tired and whatsoever. There are a lot of people that are saying that you shouldn't hit the snooze button. I'm doing it, and I really do not feel that bad about it since I'm already calculating that in. It's not gonna just let me lose quite a lot of time, and I'm constantly sleep depriving myself. Therefore, it's not really something that I kind of fear. Actually, to hitting the snooze button is something that I do, and actually I like the snooze button because if my alarm would go off or turn itself off, I would be fucking fucked. Sometimes, not every day. On some days, I'm just gonna get up straight just because certain reasons, like just certain reasons. On some days it's that, on some other days it's that. Am I disciplined? Yeah, I am. Am I something else? Yeah, I am probably. The next question, The next question. Can we just appreciate podcasts real quick? They are amazing. So we all know knowledge is power. One big setback to attain more knowledge is money. I would love to read more books, but they're so damn expensive sometimes. I have to say sometimes they are expensive, but not always. Like, really not. Really not always. I really don't feel like that. And there are also some possibilities you can actually get books for free. I'm really not suggesting you to do that. It is possible, especially when you're using a Kindle. Then it is just really easily possible. But I don't know. Sometimes you can save a lot of money by just buying older books, by buying books that are on the 90% off list or something. Yeah, you can. But do not steal them. Really don't do so. But as he says, or as she says as well, you can use other mediums. Like, a book is only a medium. Of course, sometimes you're only gonna find this certain informational pieces in this book, and that's then quite fucking it. There's no podcast about it, and there's nothing else about it. But often, and I'm just then going to read it, there's going to be a lot of knowledge in podcasts. There's going to be a lot of knowledge in some blogs on the internet. There's going to be a lot of knowledge in some YouTube videos from people that are also writing fucking books. For example, the discussion from or by Tim Ferriss with Matthew Walker, the author of Why We Sleep, who is incredibly just knowledgeable about or educated about sleep and all those things. If you listen to the fucking podcast and or also to the TED Talk, you're going to gain some knowledge. And you're going to gain some information. Yeah, still reading the whole book is good, but there are also book summaries that are for free online. So yeah. So I would love to read more books, but they're so damn expensive. But podcasts are for free. Free knowledge. I've been big on them lately because they put me to sleep far more quickly than without, thanks to an anxiety-induced overthinking brain and insomnia. But just think about how much you could learn if you listen to half an hour podcast every night. You could learn anything there is to know about investment, properties, for example, and setting up an incredibly future for yourself and your family. Or you can learn another language or a range of cultural issues you want to know about. Just saying, this is an amazing free resource that you should be using if you aren't already. Also for news. If you're a news guy, just hit up the New York Times podcast. It's actually a daily podcast on all different kinds of things. It's amazing. Podcasts are amazing, and it is a medium, as well as a book is a medium. Therefore, it's always a little bit fucking with me when people are being like, well, you have to just read books. And yeah, I understand it. I understand that certain informations are only going to be available in this certain medium or using this certain medium. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it's the only medium that's good. It's really not the case, because it also depends on how you learn, because some people just like to listen to things. Some people just like to read things. It really comes up to what you're preferring, what your preferences are, and how much you know yourself, and or how good you know yourself. Because if you're able to learn way quicker and way better if you're listening to something, then of course you shouldn't be reading anything. Wouldn't make too much sense unless you need the information from the book. Because there is no audiobook, or there is no podcast, or there is no anything else that is about it. I like that. I haven't legitimately had a book for leisure since 15 years ago. 27-year-old male who prefers fiction books, loving for a book suggestion. Maybe you're actually having the exact same problem. Edit. Thank you all for the suggestions. Appreciate it. Edit 2. Picked up Dark Matter and started reading. 10 pages in and already hooked. We'll look into the other suggestions when I'm done. So he said Dark Matter by somebody, I don't know. I would recommend The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Definitely a true modern classic in my opinion. I would also go in as blind as possible and avoid spoiling it too much, as that could take away from the experience. If you're looking for that, check out these books maybe. I saw a beautiful woman in an art museum. It's corny as hell, but she fit right in. She would always float from painting to painting. The problem for me was that I didn't say a word to her. It made me realize where I really stand in terms of my self-confidence. I felt like I didn't have the right to talk to her or even bother her. Like it's really gonna be a woman that really was amazing for this particular person. Like if you're actually feeling like, I shouldn't be bothering her. I don't have the ability, or I don't, what did he say, or she actually say, I don't know. I'm mirrored when I won't let actually just being allowed to do so, then it's really gonna be amazing. But what I have to say, and it is just it is just something that's probably gonna be helpful for some people. I'm having a girlfriend at the time. Been having her, or we've been in a relationship for 2 years and a few months, actually 3 months or something, 10 days, something like that. But I can't calculate that fast. The thing is, just talk to her. But not being like, you're so beautiful and I just want to bang you. Not something like that, but something more like, well, you seem to just be an arty person. You seem to like art. Just some random conversation. This is actually something that I always like when people are doing this to me, which doesn't necessarily mean that you should also be doing it to other people, only because you should be treating people like you want to be treated, because this is complete bullshit, and I hate that fucking saying, even though it is so in culture. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're also not gonna touch people in maybe not really appropriate areas just because you also like other people to do that. It could be the case, that other people like that as well, but I don't know if you wanna just try it out and see for yourself. I don't know if this is something that's too easy, too nice, or whatever. But just coming up and just talking to this person, like it's gonna be okay, I guess. And even though if she's saying like, okay, please don't bother me and whatsoever, then it is quite it. She's not gonna be she's not gonna be the last person, probably. Like, we're a lot of fucking people on this planet. Still, a lot of people might feel like, well, she's the only person that's like that, and yeah, of course, even though the probability is also that there's a person that's exactly looking like her. But if you don't try, then you've already lost, basically. In this moment, you've basically lost. Who knows if you're gonna see this woman again? Who knows if you're gonna see a certain woman on the next time? Maybe a little story. I've been once. It's been, I think it's like 3 years ago, or 4 years. I'm not quite sure. I've been 16. It's been 2 years ago. Now I'm 18. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, actually a little bit more. And nearly 3 years. And I've been on such an event, and it's been an event that has had something to do with my mother. Like, she was working there as well, and I was there as a photographer. I took some photos of the people there and of the whole thing, and it was pretty cool. I like doing that. But then I've just recognized a girl. She was always just having a look at me, and just, I think it's been a friend of her, but yeah, some sorta, not really, but some sorta. And I was always looking at her, and she was also always looking at me, like, constantly. Like, we would always be just having eye contact, and I've also been searching for the eye contact to also see if she's also searching for it, of course. In the end, I've asked her for her number, which is something that's it's not going to be something that you're doing at this point in time, I guess. At least not if you're a young person. I guess times are over of just asking for people's numbers. She said, like, you can have my Snapchat. And I've been like, yeah, of course. But, something that was pretty funny for me. And it's actually also the exact same thing that I'm feeling when I'm on TikTok. I really feel old. I really feel like that I'm just another generation, which might actually be the case, even though I'm fucking young. But yeah, it's really funny. It's really funny, and I now can actually also understand how maybe elderly people are feeling about using social media in general, because there's just completely different behavior on there. And this is something that I can understand. You are maybe as well understanding, but it's just not going to be something that everybody will understand. So it's actually really funny. In the end, I asked her out just because I wanted to take the chance that I'm having, because it really was a one-time chance. One time, never ever then. And I've took it, and I've just made the experience, and that's quite it. I've had the experience also with meeting her once again and whatsoever. So there was nothing in terms of a relationship or something afterwards, which is nothing bad, but I had the fucking experience. And it is also just gonna stay in my mind, I guess. If I'm in experience in this certain situation in just my life again, then I'm probably also gonna take it. Just take it, It is also not too bad if you just, if she says like, no, I don't like you and whatnot, but sometimes it's really obvious, like in my situations, it's been really quite obvious, and the problem there only is that somebody has to take a step, somebody has to do something about it, somebody has to really do something. If it is you, if it is the other person, yeah, but somebody has to do something about it, If now nobody's actually doing something about it, then it's actually an opportunity that's lost. Quite. So please do something about it. Try it, and you'll see if it works out. Maybe even not. But yeah, it's going to be the end of the episode, and I've really appreciated this episode, and I also appreciate you being on the podcast and going through these Reddit questions and or statements with me. I really appreciate that. And I'm going to see you the next time. I at least hope. So please consider subscribing to the podcast and also to the YouTube channel, no matter where you are, or depends on where you are. But yeah, I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success. And I also hope that you're going to remind yourself when you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, which means that you're just going to be a nice person. And then you're also going to be remembered as a nice person, which might be something that is going to be the case. You know, in theory, it's definitely possible. Just in reality, maybe not really. You know, since we are so many people, there are just going to be some people that hate you. It is what it is. 3 other questions that I'm having for you is: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, since a lot of people started out with their companies by solving something that really pissed them off. You know, so therefore maybe you're doing it as well. But with that being said, I'm going to see you the next time. I at least hope. Thanks. I really appreciate it, by the way. Thanks for watching and listening and whatnot. I love it. Thanks.